last time I checked into my local gym was March 16th at 6 a.m. That evening, we got the message that the gym would be closed until further notice due to the coronavirus. And when this happened, I had a number of feelings rush over me, and since then, I've felt various things at various times. At times, I felt the feelings associated with being anxious, concerned, frustrated, happy, content, restlessness, and so on. I just recently got a message that the gym was reopening on June 1st. Once again, a number of feelings came over me as I began to think about how this was going to work. It's a big gym, and they're limiting people. And quite frankly, I don't want to wake up early in the morning and head to the gym not knowing if I'm going to be able to work out. Needless to say, my gym hasn't given me enough information to make a decision on what I'm going to do when it reopens. And as a result, I have the feelings that are associated with frustration. But it's just a gym. What's the big deal? Exactly. It is just a gym. It is not considered one of the most critical or essential services in our community. In many ways, it's a luxury and a convenience. So why was I so brokenhearted when it closed, and why do I allow myself to get worked up about its reopening? I could tell you that it's just simply because I really want to be able to go to the gym. It's a major part of my day, and it's how I start my day. It's not just picking up weights and putting them down. Lots of things happen, lots of thinking happens, and it's where I'm able to challenge myself physically and mentally. I've made many connections with people at my gym. People I've been seeing on a daily basis for years, and I could go on and on. Now, while all those things may be true, I also know that my feelings of frustration with all of this are really pointing to something that runs much deeper in me. While all those things I mentioned are true, they are not the reasons for my feelings. If I dig a little deeper, I can tell you that I am more concerned about not being in shape. We can even dig a little deeper than that and uncover more underlying things that really get to the heart of what my feelings are pointing to. I know because I've done it. I have a pretty good idea of why I feel this way. So you see, feelings are oftentimes just indicators of something deeper going on with us. And what's fascinating is the fact that by just trying to get to the bottom of why I feel this way allows my feelings to work themselves out. And it actually changes the way I feel. But I'm not just trying to manage how I feel. I am trying to address the underlying condition that may have a tendency to promote these destructive feelings in me and the outbursts or reactions that can result from me being mastered by them. And when we address the underlying condition, it can lead us to the heart of the matter. See, when we start dealing with the heart of the matter, what we're really touching on is our character. Now, if you get to the point where you're wanting to get to the root of something, I'm supposing it's because you want to change. You don't want to feel this way, and you don't want to be controlled by those feelings. You don't like the way you're reacting to things, or you just see some things about yourself that you just don't like. So your goal really is what we might call a change of character. And as disciples of Jesus, it is His character, what we might call godly character. That's what we're striving for. And this happens as we turn to Him and as we walk closer to Him, like legitimately walking as a disciple. And this is how we transform our hearts, our character. See, being a disciple is a process that begins with faith and hope. These are two words that are inseparable, and they are two words that rest in confidence, trust, anticipation, and expectation in God. Paul says it this way in Romans 5:2. Through Him we have also obtained access by faith into this grace in which we stand, and we rejoice in hope of the glory of God. In other words, when we turn to Him, we are surrounded with His grace, a grace in which we stand.
And it is this initial turning to God and standing in His grace that opens us up to transforming into the image of Jesus, transforming our hearts, our character. And as we progress on our journey, life happens. We go through things that challenge us. There are things we will have to deal with, sometimes very difficult trials, say, like a pandemic, which can bring with it things like fear, anger, anxiety, and doubt. But it can also bring with it compassion, selflessness, love. You see, trials can have a way of bringing out the worst in us or the best in us. Now, regardless of where we are on our journeys, when we go through trials, it is because of our faith that we go through them with a certain perspective and otherworldly dependence, trust, and confidence. This doesn't mean it's going to be easy, and it doesn't mean that we act foolishly or carelessly. But it does mean that we have a source of strength, and as a result of going through these challenges, whatever they may be, we develop some endurance. Romans 5:3, Paul says that suffering produces endurance. And we know this to be true, not just because Paul said it, but because we have also lived in it. And then Paul said in Romans 5:4 that endurance produces character, or literally, endurance produces a proven or tested character. Do you see the progression there? This tested character is one that has been tried, has gone through trials, has stood the test, has gained experience, and has benefited from that experience. Then Paul says something that I find extremely intriguing. He says that tested character produces hope. See, this is where that hope or the trust and expectation in God begins to permeate throughout our lives. And so no matter what we're going through, hope is permeating, is shining a light in our darkest moments. It's giving us a perspective we need as we go through the trials, allowing us to see how we might learn from our experiences, where our strength lies as we go through these experiences. And so then we come out on the other side a little bit wiser. That's what James talks about in James 1:2-5. Then Paul says that hope will not disappoint, because hope is based on and comes from God's love that is poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. And it's that love that gives us a new perspective on things, on people, and even how to navigate whatever it is that we're going through. In other words, godly character. You see, as a result of our faithfulness to God through these processes, aided by the Holy Spirit, we are changed. Our faith and hope give us strength to endure, and the process of enduring molds and shapes our character, our heart. And this ultimately leads to our lives being permeated by our faith and hope, like a spring of water welling up, John 4, or rivers of living water, John 7, that flow out and affect all of those around us in a refreshing and a life-giving way. You see, faith and hope, they lay the foundation for the fruit of the Spirit. Galatians 5:22-23, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, tenderness, gentleness, self-control. These will not only be the things we experience, but things others will experience through us. Now, two things I want to point out. First, love, joy, peace, etc. Those are not feelings. They are conditions that bring about positive feelings. Secondly, just like faith and hope are inseparable, so are the fruit of the Spirit, each one leading to the next and helping to define the other. And this is what could come out of the trials we experience and navigate through, like COVID-19.
So my question for you is, what has this pandemic done to you? How has it affected you? Have some things surfaced that you need to address? How has your faith and hope guided you through this trial? See, faith and hope are not things to display just Sunday morning in Sunday morning gatherings, but they should permeate our entire lives as we go and live in each moment.